Kia mihi ki tō tātou kaihanga. Ana nei ngā mea katoa, e awhine tātou I tēnei a. Nō rere te motu e kei te mihi, kei te mihi, kei te mihi.
We've got some amazing people here with us today. Will you please be a generous audience for our first session and welcome up Irina Wehi Barton, please. Kia ora.
So this is my dad and my boy, Raheli Tuna. And so back in our valley, we do a lot of mahi around pai. And so today, this would be pretty much like a speed dating event to mana atua, mana koe, mana tangata. So if you want to know some more about this mahi, just give us a call.
And also acknowledging, we heard it this morning on the pai, you know, the people who have been here for hundreds and hundreds of years before us, who have held this space for us and cared for our whenua, and it allowed us to be where we are today.
And in particular, I love working on roto or lakes. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a project known as Our Lakes Health Past, Present or Future. If we go back 1,000 years, you'll just see what an absolute gem of a place this lake used to be, with native forest right to the edge of the lake. And if you go under the water here, it's just a place that's teeming with life, with aquatic plants, with huge diversity of fish, and of course a Maori settlement at the edge of the lake.
I mentioned this morning, there's been substantial land use change in certain areas and in certain pockets. And I just put this, these maps up here just to show that over a 34-year period, a roughly threefold increase in the level of intensive annual cropping in orchards and vineyards over that period of time.
This was in apples for about 20 years. We removed the apples about 5 years ago. It's been grazed, it had been grazed up until we started to convert it, and it was in a pretty shocking state actually. Thankfully, the Wakatū board made a decision to remove it from the commercial estate and identified it as a mata that we could use to start experimenting on.
We're still focusing on taiwa and kumara. But I think the biggest thing for us this year and for the future is just to try and feed our people.
Kumara has been a focus from the beginning. The amazing thing about kumara is that there's so much framework for engagement for whānau into Mātauranga. Kumara is a really good way to do that.
Behind us is sort of our little grow area, and where we've been sowing all of the things that are about to go out. So whether that be zucchinis or squash or tomatoes, they're all behind you.
But I think our aspiration, isn't it, could we have these hubs all over the rohe, and we know that also that there's other, groups and our families who are gardeners, they're already doing that.
What happened in 1840 was appropriate for then how we managed the whenua, how we managed it, but there's a whole lot of different pressures on our systems now. And like it or not, we have to work out how to still look after the resource, but taking an account of the contemporary alongside the cultural. So it needs to be a blend.
But there was a target this government had to double exports. I mean, the report has actually been released this week, and you're going to see the results of that. It's quite staggering.
Food insecurity is driven by systems, but experienced by people and papatūānuku, our atua, which has been reiterated so many times this morning. We know that food security for Aotearoa is not about whether there is enough food in Aotearoa, because there's plenty. And hunger is a story that we can end. And so that is really about having decent wages. It's about having adequate housing, which when I look around, I'm like, yeah, living the dream. Food secure Aotearoa right here in this backyard.
All of the things that connected to the pūrākau that was specific to their place on the waihi, so that their kids could retell the stories, intergenerational stories about their estuary, but could also connect it to the reality of the story of their place today. And just thinking for us in Te Tauihu, what does it look like to take our own evidence base forward? And people like Connell, obviously, with the data that he talked about today, has really good insight into where should we focus and why.